When Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was first released, the Inkling girl had a taunt where she placed her hand on a flexed bicep and pumped her fist into the air when hitting another racer with an item. While this gesture carried little significance in Japan or the US, it is considered an offensive up-yours gesture in parts of Europe and Latin America. As a result, it was quickly patched out after release. The Super Horn can now destroy spiny shells. In Deluxe, spiny shells appear more frequently to counter this but travel slower, allowing players to outrun them in 200cc with sufficient speed. Early builds of Mario Kart 64, shown at Space World 95 and E396, had a Super Mario RPG-like art style, included the feather item, and featured Kamek as a playable racer. By release, the game adopted Super Mario 64's look, removed the feather, and replaced Kamek with Donkey Kong. A pink variant of the Egg 1 cart found in beta versions of Mario Kart DS implies that Birdo was originally intended to be a playable character. The snowmen in Sherbetland now wear blue caps and orange scarves, resembling both the enemies from earlier Mario Kart games and a similar group of snowmen in Paper Mario 64. During development, Mario Kart 64 was called Super Mario Kart R, with the R standing for rendered. Kamek was originally intended to be in Mario Kart 64, but was removed during development. He eventually made his debut in Mario Kart Tour, which later led to his addition in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. In Sunset Wilds, the Shy Guys no longer wear feathered headdresses or live in teepees. They have been reimagined as miners residing in camping tents. The 8 different Shy Guy colors, previously exclusive to download play in Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart 7, are now available by default in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The spiny shell got its wings in Mario Kart Double Dash because it was originally intended as Koopa Paratroopa's unique item, called the Winged Shell. However, during playtesting, developers realized they needed an item to keep expert players from dominating the race. So the Winged Shell was reworked into the modern spiny shell and added to the regular item pool, while Paratroopa was given triple red shells instead. Waluigi's description in the official Prima Guide reads, "It's always Waluigi time," a line that originally comes from his tag-in quote in Mario Kart Double Dash. A Statue of Liberty-style Peach statue is visible from Toad Harbor and N64 Rainbow Road. In the Booster Course Pass, the actual Statue of Liberty appears in Tour New York Minute. Sunshine Airport includes a Koopa-shaped island in the final gliding section, reminiscent of N64 Koopa Troopa Beach. The original plan for Super Mario Kart had AI racers collecting items like players, but the SNES couldn't handle calculating item odds for both. Instead, the devs gave each AI opponent a unique, character-specific item. Rainbow Road in Super Mario Kart was originally narrower, but it was widened because the AI kept falling off. Super Mario Kart began as an attempt to make a 2-player F-Zero, but the SNES couldn't handle rendering its long, fast tracks in split screen. To work around this, developers switched to smaller, twistier tracks and reimagined it as a slower-paced go-kart racer. Mario characters were added for easy visual distinction from behind, which eventually led to incorporating more Mario-themed elements. During early development of Super Mario Kart, there was an oil can item, which was eventually replaced by the banana peel, though oil slicks still appear as course hazards. Rainbow Road wasn't part of Super Mario Kart early on. The final track was originally going to be Mario Circuit 4. There was also a planned Choco Island 3. Mario Kart DS has several unused tracks. Some, like those with test in their file names or an early version of Wario Stadium, were for testing. Others include Double Dash's Mario Circuit, later in Wii, a Koopa Troopa track, a Snow-Free DK Pass variant, an unused pinball track, likely Waluigi Pinball, Dokkan Course, a warp pipe-themed track inspiring Piranha Plant Slide in Mario Kart 7, and Block City from Double Dash as an unused battle mode course. Donkey Kong Jr. was added to Super Mario Kart to mark the 10th anniversary of his arcade debut. Super Mario Kart originally included a speedometer, but the dev team scrapped it to avoid cluttering the already busy screen. Instead, they used engine sounds to give players an audio sense of speed. The Super Mario Kart dev team initially worried that items would make races feel too chaotic and luck-driven, potentially turning players off. They proposed a toggle to disable items, but Miyamoto rejected it, arguing that the unpredictability made races more thrilling. Mario Motors, a canceled DS spin-off directed by Yute Sato, was set to let players sculpt and design their own car engines. In an interview, the developers of Mario Kart Double Dash shared that Baby Park was originally created just for playtesting, which explains its simple oval design and lack of hazards. but the chaotic fun it produced convinced them to include it in the final game. The giant banana in Mario Kart Double Dash was created when developers jokingly maxed out the banana's size during testing and found it so funny they made it the Kong's signature item. The same joke led to the massive size of Bowser's shell. An early demo of Mario Kart Double Dash included a character icon for Donkey Kong Jr., suggesting he was originally planned as a playable racer. However, according to a magazine interview, he was ultimately replaced by Diddy Kong, who was deemed the more recognizable character. In contrast to Mario Kart Super Circuit and Mario Kart Tour, the Sunset Wilds track in Deluxe remains at sunset throughout the entire race. Mario Kart Wii introduced tricks that give players a speed boost upon landing after catching air with a hop. Crash Team Racing featured a similar boost mechanic earlier, just without the tricks themselves. Although the cow in Mario Kart World eating a hamburger strikes some as creepy, others see it as a darkly humorous example of black comedy cannibalism, making it an unexpected source of laughs. The cow racer is commonly nicknamed Moo Moo after Moo Moo Meadows, but Mario Kart World refers to it simply as Cow. However, earlier games did call them Moo Moos. Despite Diddy Kong being absent, Mario Kart World shares several similarities with Diddy Kong Racing, notably its interconnected world design, though DKR uses a hub world, not a full sandbox, and its revamped gliding and water racing, which echo DKR's plane and hovercraft mechanics. Mario Kart World drops crossover characters seen in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, focusing solely on the Mario universe. Producer Kosuke Yabuki said non-Mario characters felt unnecessary, given the large existing cast. When asked about adding ARMS characters, he laughed. Absolutely not. Fan-favorite additions like the Cow Racer were a surprise hit. Even Yabuki picked it as his favorite. While opinions on the open-world features are mixed, the core racing and 24-player chaos are widely praised. Early in development, Mario Kart Wii was titled Mario Kart X, referencing extreme due to the addition of bikes, tricks, wheelies, and half-pipes. The name was later changed to avoid confusion with Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which was called Smash Bros. X in Japan. The project was then renamed Revo Kart, a nod to the Wii's codename, Revolution. The idea of adding motorbikes to Mario Kart was first suggested during Double Dash's development, but was rejected because the team found the image of Mario on a bike too strange. The concept was eventually brought to life in Mario Kart Wii. In 2019, an official Chinese translation of Mario Kart Super Circuit leaked online, originating from a prototype cartridge submitted to the Chinese government for approval. It's still unclear whether Nintendo canceled the release or if it was rejected by authorities. Mario Kart Super Circuit is currently the highest-rated game in the series on Metacritic, even ranking above Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, though it has far fewer reviews. Its strong reception was largely due to successfully bringing the Mario Kart formula to handheld consoles. However, over time, fan opinion has cooled. Because it didn't introduce any standout features and closely resembled previous entries, many now view it as average. Still, it holds nostalgic value for those who played it first and is recognized for pushing the series into portable gaming. Mario Kart Super Circuit is the oddball of the mainline series. It's the only one not developed by Nintendo. Intelligent Systems handled it instead. While track theme reuse isn't new, Super Mario Kart did it too. Super Circuit goes overboard with 4 different Bowser castles. It also features 5 cups instead of the usual 4, and throws in some quirky courses like Cheese Land, Sky Garden, and Ribbon Road. Unused icons for triple bananas, fake item boxes, and golden mushrooms found in Mario Kart Super Circuit's files suggest they were planned, but ultimately scrapped from the final release. Early screenshots of Mario Kart Super Circuit reveal the characters originally had a super deformed art style. Super Circuit's code secretly contains the battle courses from Super Mario Kart, but they're locked away and only accessible through hacking. Additionally, the track shown during the awards ceremony cutscene is a complete playable course, yet it remains unreachable in normal gameplay. Professor E. Gadd was originally planned as a playable character in Mario Kart DS, with the Poltergust 4000 as his signature kart. However, he was replaced by Dry Bones later in development, and the kart was reassigned to Luigi. In Big Blue, upon reaching the final section of the course, the announcer from F-Zero X exclaims, "Yeah, the final lap," despite it being a point-to-point track. Ironically, the other F-Zero course, Mute City, features a traditional 3-lap circuit but uses the standard final lap jingle like all other tracks. When Metal Mario loses a race, he says "Mia Mama," which is Mario's losing quote played in reverse. If a player uses a boo and no other racers on the track are holding any items, the boo will automatically give the player a mushroom. Mario Kart has been a massive seller since the beginning, and since the GameCube era, it's consistently outsold even mainline Mario games. Despite being tied to Nintendo consoles, its sales rival major multi-platform titles, Mario Kart 8, for example, was the second best-selling game during its launch weekend, even on the poorly performing Wii U. When combined with its Switch re-release, it ranks among the top 10 best-selling games of all time. In their own series, Inklings have a well-known weakness to water, as it dissipates the ink in their bodies and defeats them. However, in this game, they can freely use underwater routes without issue. When brainstorming new gameplay features for Mario Kart 8, the team first considered letting players drill through the ground. However, they scrapped that idea and chose anti-gravity instead, believing it would be more exciting. Producer Yasuyuki Oyagi revealed that Waluigi was originally planned for Mario Kart 7, but was cut due to time constraints ahead of the holiday release. The wooden Goomba and bush cutouts in 3DS Piranha Plant Slide were originally designed to showcase the 3DS's stereoscopic 3D effect. While the Wii U and Switch lacked this feature, the cutouts were retained in these versions. In Lap 3 of London Loop, the chain chomps scattered around the track break free from their chains and roam the course. While most become moving hazards, one can be seen in the background playfully splashing in the River Thames. Mario, Peach, Link, and Bowser each have alternate versions: Metal and Gold Mario, Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, Pink Gold Peach, Champion Tunic Link, and Dry Bowser. A booster course pass patch quietly adjusted the game so that the alternates of Mario, Peach, and Link won't appear as CPU racers if their original version is already in the race as a player or another CPU. However, Bowser and Dry Bowser can still coexist in the same race, as can the baby versions of various characters. Leftover icons for the Mega Mushroom and Fake Item Box in Mario Kart 7's files suggest they were planned to return, but were ultimately cut from the final game. Nintendo has considered removing the spiny shell from Mario Kart due to its unpopularity, but always ends up keeping it. Without it, the game feels incomplete. Unfair perhaps, but just like life itself,